Right. What do we have in here? Let's see. We have Bishay, Raouf Bishay, Photography, Bishay, Tech Tip of the Week. Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry I've been away for a while, but it's been holidays, as all you know. I hope that all of you have a wonderful holiday and a happy, prosper new year. We started the new year, and I'm going to start our tech tip back again. We are back in the saddle again. Now, again, this is Raouf Bishay Photography, Bishay Tech Tip of the Week. You can reach me at raouf@raoufbishay.com. You can reach me also through our website in the Bloomington Photography Club. It's not my own website, it's actually the club website in Bloomington, Indiana. One of the best photo club you will find. We have a whole bunch of photographers from all kinds of level of expertise, professional and hobbyist and amateurs, and we encourage you to at least visit our website, which is listed in here, and see what you see in there. It doesn't cost you anything to attend our general meeting. Come in, please, and see what we have to offer and what we don't have to offer. And if you like it, please stay. I'm sure you will find a lot of resources you can pull from. This week, I'm going to talk about blending mode in Photoshop. Blending mode can be complicated and can be very simple. There is so many ways to blend a photo to do composition. Which one is the best? Well, it depends on the product or the material you're working with. What kind of photography you are working with, and what is the ultimate end result that you want. A lot of times when you are doing composition like this, it's very hard to really kind of imagine the hard line for the very final product. You just have something in mind, you have to work with it. So sometimes one blending mode is not suitable to do something, but another blending mode is suitable to do something. I'm going to try to go through few of them. It's not necessarily all of them, but at least it's the one that I can think of as I'm working with this tech tip. So without further ado, let's go in there and see what we have. I have Photoshop in here open, and I have 4 different photographs that I opened. This one I took in Bloomington, and the other 3 I got from Adobe Photo Stock that I got them for free, and we're going to work with that. I see this is in here is pre-selected, and I don't want to do the pre-selected in here, so I'm just going to Control Z. Control Z, by the way, is undo anything that you did, okay? So now that we are working with this, let's start with our first simple blend mode, okay? I want to cut this model from here, and I want to move her to a different background. Well, easy way to do this is to use the AI that's already built in Photoshop, which in this case is subject select. When I say the AI and subject select, there is so number of ways to select a subject or to cut a subject out of a picture. That's for another different tech tip, so it doesn't matter how you select the subject. I'm just using in here the quick subject select. Once you select the subject, it's a matter of making sure you are in the move tool, and basically you hold your left mouse button and move into where you want. When you are moving it, you see how the arrow key tip is black. That means it's loaded. It's loaded with whatever am I moving to here. When you let go, it would say that's a different resolution, but you say, okay, now I have the model in here. Now, you can resize this model by using those keys, okay? You can move the model anywhere you want it to be in the photograph. So as far as I'm concerned right now, you have it in here, and that can be one way to do the composition, and the composition you're done. There is nothing wrong with the model being behind that background such as that. When you come to blending mode, by the way, make sure that the background is unlocked so you can do some blending, you know what I mean? Now, talk about blending. You have top layer and lower layer. And what's between is going to be how you blend it. So right now, the picture is okay, and I say that I'm done with this, or I can go into my blending mode and start blend it. The easiest way I see to do this is move from 1 to 1 and see right in front of your eyes what is the effect is. But when we're here, let's look at the different parts that's available for blending. The first section is to darken. basically takes the white out and put more black. Second one is lighting. Basically, it's the opposite. Take the black out, put lighting. Then you have the overlay, where it overlay stuff over each other, differences, and then hue and saturation. All these are available to you. So again, one more time, you can do anything like this, and I don't know, maybe you can do lighting, and that's another way to make this presentation. And once more time, this is a different way for the composition, and I'm done. Now let's look at something else. Let's say that I'm gonna do Command Z now, so I can take that away, or I could have just went back in here and just put it to normal. All right. Let's do this. Even though this looks good, let's do something unique. Not unique, but different methodology. Let's drag it behind or underneath that layer. Now, what I want to do is I want to concentrate this layer only to the mask below it. I want to concentrate this only to the one below it. If you hold the Option key in Mac, Alt key in Windows, and you click, that's what I just did. I just had all the background or all the layer one only concentrated in the shape of the layer beneath it. Well, it looks pretty blotchy. You can tell that this is not anything to do like a model. Well, that's when you go back again to normal and you start working with blending. I kind of like the screen blending in this, maybe. Yeah, I kind of like the screen blending. So now you have a different other way to be able to present your composition, and it's, you know, it's a pretty artistic. So at this point, I really don't need to keep any of that, so I'm just gonna go back again to this. All right, this is great so far. It seemed like very simple, really. You know, as you understand it and work with it, it will get even simplified more and more. So let's take this model and work with it this time. This time, put it in that background. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the model. This time, I'm just gonna try to make, I'm lazy, so I'm gonna take the whole thing. Again, hold the mouse button, take my picture. Oops, this is not loaded. And I am gonna just kind of resize it, maybe. Well, let's resize a little bit smaller. All right, so have the model resize it this way. All right, well, what can we do with this? Well, we can blend it. All right, let's blend it and see what happens if I blend it. First, I'm gonna unlock my background layer. All right, and I'm gonna go back again to my layer that I wanna blend, and let's see what happens. Well, let's see, screen, color dodge. Let's do screen for now. I kind of like screen and multiply, but well, lighting is not really giving me what I want. Let's say screen. Okay, well, this is the screen, but I have a problem in here. The problem in here, you have a hard line. Well, how do I get rid of this hard line? Well, that's very simple. I can go in here and I'm going to add a layer mask by clicking in the layer mask, and then I'm going to add a gradient tool. Make sure that your gradient tool is basic, it's normal, and it's 100% opacity, and just go in there and click where you want it. So let's say that I want to blend it from here. Now, if you left click and drag, if you drag past the line, you will end up with a harsh line. So you want to drag it just right before the line, and you want to let go. And look at this. There is no more line, and the picture is really more blended in. Well, suppose that you do this and then say, oh, well, you know, I wanted to blend it differently. Again, this is layers. So if you click in the photo itself or in the top layer itself, I can go back and change my mind, and it changes the type of blending mode that I want. So let's say I want this one is better. You know, you can always do this, okay? Let's say that I want my gradient to be different. I can go back in here And let's say that I want to do the gradient all the way from here, all the way to here. I can do that also. So here you go. Now you are trying to do, yet it's another way to just do a different presentation of what you're doing. So what I'm trying to say is in blending mode, do not be stickle in one thing only. I can go back in here and let's say that I want to go to that my first model. Let's go to this model and let's bring here to the same picture and put it in here. Let's just resize here a little bit and put it in here. Well, actually, let's do a little bit more than that. And one more time, you can leave it just as is. There is nothing wrong by leaving it as is. Or you can actually furthermore modify this one, all right? So I can go in here and this time I want to do yet a different methodology of a different methodology of blending it. I'm going to go in here and actually, you know, better off, let's try this way. We're just going to go to the FX effect and I'm going to click blending option. This is give you a greater way to do the blending, and I think to do this we may need a really darker background. So we'll try it in here first. But this in here is your first photo, and as you do, you can see how it's disappearing because it's doing the blend. It's taking away the black. Here it's taking away the white. Yeah, you see, that's not a very good way to blend it, but yet some people may want to consider it artistic, I guess. But this is another way to use the blending mode, and this is for the bottom, whether you want to take the bottom away or in. All right, let's cancel this, and let's do Command Z a couple of times. And since we are in Photoshop, we should be smart enough to be able to take one of our model, okay, and apply a black background for here, for example. So let's take this one here, and we're gonna say new, and we're gonna say solid color, and we're gonna pick a black, and we're gonna say okay. Let's put the black underneath here. Whoops, unlock it. And let's edit. All right. Now, I can go ahead and do my layers. And this is different way. I have seen that before. I don't necessarily like this kind of blending, but some people do. You know what I mean? And again, I'm just showing the different way that you can do some hard blending. But let's say that you did this hard blending this way, all right? Now, I want to take this whole picture as is. And in this case, I'm going to move it to my background in here. So I blend it in from somewhere else, remember now, okay? So I made a blend out of a blend, basically. And I am yet to come up with a different transition. And since there is different in the background, I'm going to go ahead again, and I'm going to do, make sure that this is unlock. I'm going to, again, create a mask. Oops, excuse me, Command Z. See, again, I was on the wrong layer when I did this. So I'm going to do create a mask. I'm going to create Guardian effect. Make sure I'm in the mask. Command Z. Make sure I am in the mask when I do a Guardian effect. And let it blend. Here you go. So, you know, it's almost the same one, but with a little bit, just a little bit different. By the way, when you do Guardian effect, you can make it from anywhere you want it. I mean, you can make it even disappear to that matter. So, you know what I mean? I use a Guardian all the time in the blending mode to do this little smooth transition that we want to do. Now remember, in all those again, you can always go in and let's get a different. Let me get this model in here. Actually, let's do this. Command Z in here. Let me see if I can unlock this. Let's do if we can add mask. Let's say add solid color. Add black. Let's see. I don't like the fill color, so I'm gonna just delete it. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. We're just gonna stick with this. Delete this. I don't want to go back again because we're gonna be doing the same thing that we did before. But we can take this young lady in here again, move her in to a different background. You know what? Let's move her to this one. Okay. And once again, Command O. Let's resize her. Let's put her in there somewhere. Okay. And let's try to use the FX blend mode. So when I'm here, I'm going to go to FX. We're going to make sure that we're in blending option. And blending option, current layer is in the top layer. And in the top layer, again, I can blend it with the background as I want it. Or I can take away the black as I want it. Okay. Or in the bottom, do the same thing. All right. Or I can actually do something that's creative. If I want to split it, if this is too much for me, when I'm moving it this way or that way, I can hold the Option key in Mac, the Alt key in Windows, and click in here, and as I do that, split it. So when it's split it, now I have two, not one, but I have two slider that I can play with in order to change this. And you can see how I'm changing this in here like this. Okay, so I changed the color. I can say okay in here and I'm done with it. Well, I'm not done because this really looks really bad. Okay, so if it looks really bad, go to your mask and see if you can add maybe something like this. You know, just, you know what I mean, just start to moving stuff to be able to do it. You can mask this or you can brush it. Again, remember now, this is all layers, which means you can do anything with it. So if I choose in here brush and make my brush bigger with the square key, with the right square key, so I can brush it with. And if I brush with black, I will conceal the top and I can work around some of the area that I do not want. For example, it's just, you know, it's all subject to what you really want to do and what you do not want to do. I can just kind of go around here and do a few things like this and have a totally different effect than what you are doing. And hopefully that really give you some idea, quick idea about several ways that you can work with blend mode, and some of them, I guess, some of the masks. I hope that help you. If it help you, please go in here and you can review this as much time as you want. If you have any question, let me know. And again, I encourage you to go to our website in Bloomington Photography Club and be able to see some of the works in there. Talk to some of the other people. I'm not the only one in there that you can talk to. There is a lot of people that know a whole lot more than I am. But anyhow, thank you for attending. I appreciate you. And for next time, this is Bishay Tech of the Week. Bye-bye.